I know there was raids after that discovery of other apartments in the building. And given that you own an apartment there, what were your experience?
Very, very good question. Well, I'm sure for me, let me tell you my sadness. It's not actually an issue of just that cash was found. I leased an apartment there. I lived there. I was there in that block when they came to search the apartment in question. So it's something I know. But let me tell you what is worrisome. Well, we don't know. They are still dealing with who owns the money and who doesn't own the money. Maybe that will one day be clarified. But let me tell you where I'm even worried. Assuming the money was even from a background that is questionable, why will anybody keep it in such a circumstance? The place could have caught fire. Anything could have happened. If that money was put in our banking system, whoever kept it would have earned 8% per annum, so it would have earned about $7 million by now. 1 minute, it would have earned about let me finish. That $7 million is about 2.8 billion naira today. That is the amount I spent for secondary school, the entire secondary schools in Anambra State for the year. If we had decided to be generous, and decided to give each graduate 1 million, they would have shared it to 2,800 graduates, out of which 2,000 would have been successful. I can go on and tell you what that money will do. The bank that is keeping the money would have made 7% because they would have given it to a business at 15%, make 7%, which means the bank will keep going, and the business that they loaned it to will keep going. That is the economy. But that money was kept in a place where, I own an apartment there. People said to me, oh, you live there. Yes, I live there. It was built by somebody I'm close to and everything. And I told him, I said, I haven't finished being governor of Anambra State for 8 years. I cannot live outside Anambra State. Never. The only place that I have a house officially built is in Onitsha. If you see any house anywhere in Lagos, Abuja, anywhere belonging to Peter Obi, confiscate it. I live in Onitsha. So for my wife and family, I leave that place, and I'm happy that go and ask those who searched the place. Because I was abroad. I traveled 2 days after, and they said they wanted to search my apartment. I sent the key through a very good Nigerian who was traveling. I'm sure Seyi Law, he would tell people the story one day. Said to him, give these people this key. They sent the key, and they searched my whole apartment. I can tell the only result they found there, they say, this man doesn't live here. It's only his wife's clothes and shoe that we saw and everything. That we didn't see anything belonging to him. But I've said it to so many Nigerians. Peter Obi wears only black shoe, and I have 2 pairs of it anytime, and I travel with it. The purpose of shoe is to protect the leg from being hot. Nothing else. So that people are wearing one. They go and buy $200 one, $300. It's a waste of time. I buy this from Marks and Spencer. $49.99. Finish. It's a shoe. Nothing else. They say, oh, we didn't even see watch. I've said it openly to everybody. This is the only watch I have. I won it for 17 years. Purpose of watch is to keep time. Why would I keep a watch at home? Whose time is he keeping? Why would we? and check my background. I'm not a poor person. Before I became governor, all of you can go and check my background, who I was before I became governor. Before I went into public life, I'm a very rich person. However, I have allergy for money being wrongly spent. That is why I go to schools. Every month, go and check the record till date. I visit at least 5 secondary schools all over Nigeria. The last visit was in Sokoto, and I give each at least 1 million naira. That is for me expenditure. Not to use it to buy watch that I keep at home, keeping time that nobody uses. It doesn't make sense to me.
Thank you very much.
So, the apartment is yes, but I'm appealing to Nigerians that is not a way to keep money.
If you heard that a governor once had a governor's aide, once had about 200 million naira cash in his car, that the governor said he should go and deliver it somewhere. And then the governor claimed that it was for contract. And they caught the person. That would you still support that kind of government? The person said, now the people that whether they rule this country, they'll be that. Why will I support such a person? And I said that person is Peter Obi. Google it. That person is Peter Obi. But you don't know about that because you choose to be blind by your followership. I said every
this
time.
This is true and can be confirmed.
Google it. Is no. I said there was a governor who once supported another candidate that wanted to become a godfather until his person fought against him. And the person came out to say that he was demanding for 7.5 billion naira from him for the money he used to support him. And he said, now those APC governor. And I said, that's Peter Obi. That was what Obiano said. And once it is the person they support, automatically it becomes is a lie. But when it is another person, it is the truth. It doesn't work that way. The truth is not selective.
I still maintain that I do not have problem with Obiano.
You and the governor, your successor, Willie Obiano, you seem to be a daggers drawn.
No way.
What is happening between the two of you?
I don't know where you get your facts.
No,
what
I read the stories in the papers.
No, that's wrong.
He has been accused you of all kinds of things.
No, what was he accused me of? Can you give me one?
Well, he accused you, for example, that he had to pay you for him to become governor. He accused you that you were not as successful a governor as you claimed, and your media man, Valentine Obianyan, has responded to some of those.
Ruben, nobody have accused me in Anambra State.
No, I'm saying the governor.
No. I live in Anambra State. And nobody in Anambra State will you meet that's Anambra indigenous, even when he doesn't like me, will tell you Peter Obi was not successful as a governor. It's impossible. Come, let's walk the streets of Onitsha. I live in Onitsha. And as you know, I was a governor who was not traveling with routine of securities and everybody. Until today, it remains the same. Come, let's walk the street. That's how you know. And I live there. It's not as if I finished governing. Anambra State is the only place that have a home, have a house called my own. If you see any piece of land or house belonging to Peter Obi in Abuja, burn it down or take it. If you see one in Lagos, take it. Why have a flat in Lagos? I live in Onitsha. Not even anywhere, Onitsha. Due to my own house there. That's where I live. And I'm always there. I came from there yesterday. Can show you my boarding pass. I came from the last flight from Asaba yesterday. When I finish, I go back there. Who will live there if you didn't do well? Every road you see in Onitsha today was constructed by me. If you cross the bridge, go and ask anybody. So nobody can tell you that you see children doing well today in America. It is me. I changed the school dynamics. They were number 26 and 27 when I came into office. And I've just called the banks where I left money. That is how you know. So it's not a question of this. Every secondary school in Anambra State, for example, have 2 buses. I bought them. I bought one in my first tenure. I bought the other one in my second tenure. No, they've not had any since I left. They've not had any since I left. Just to give you one example. I bought computers. The highest amount of desktop computers ever bought by a government in Africa was purchased from us by HP through Leo Stanek. He said it the other day in the news. 30,000 computers paid up front. Innocent, I paid him 5 billion up front to supply us vehicle 1 year before he delivered one vehicle. So these are records, they are not there. So nobody will have accused me of anything. And let me tell you, you're wrong. Since I left as governor of Anambra State, nobody, not Anambra State government, directly or indirectly, has paid me 1 naira. I've not received any form.
Why are you not entitled to pension?
I don't know, but I'm saying I've not received anything. When people were bringing us of laws to say, governor this, governor, I told them, when I leave here, I leave here. Never received 1 naira. I want you to put it on record and make that.
But you still haven't answered my question.
Yes.
What's the relationship between you and Governor Willie Obi?
We have a good relationship. He's the governor. He's elected to focus on to serve for the people. Not my relationship with him is irrelevant. He's elected. You see, this is where we get it wrong. You must focus on what you elected, women. When I was in office, I can tell you, I and most of the elites are not in good terms. But I wasn't elected. You have seen me say it every day. Even my own wife comes back and says, I met Ruben, I met this man, he's not happy with you. I said to her, listen, my job is not to make people happy. There's people in the entertainment industry whose job is to make everybody happy. Me, I'm not happy myself. I'm elected to fix school, fix road, and do this. You must focus on what you're elected to do. He's not elected to have a good relationship with me. He's elected to do the roads, fix the school, make Anambra State work. For example, he gave an example that some people are exporting bitter leaf and ogo worth of $5 million. We want to see the farm. We want to see this is what is elected to do, not to keep it to be happy or do this thing. I've just told you in issue of saying I paid money. I said I have never received 1 kobo. 1 kobo from anybody as an ex-governor. I'm not looking for one. My focus is how do we make Nigeria work?
There are millions of Nigerians who already know the value of Peter Obi. Forget all of the propaganda that is out there trying to give a dog a bad name so they can hang it. Nigerians know the truth. Nigerians know the quality and the character and the competence of Peter Obi. And they will vote for him any day. The only problem, as we saw in 2023, was rigging. That is the only problem. Will he be able to overcome in 2027 and be sworn in as the next president of Nigeria? The answer to that is simple. If we do what is necessary. But at the end of the day, success can only be measured if Peter Obi is sitting in Aso Rock as the next president of Nigeria. That is the only success I want. And that is the only success Nigerians deserve and demand. Anything short of that, I am not interested. Can Peter Obi win? And in fact, many Nigerians will answer yes. But then they will put a caveat. But they will not give it to him. That was the answer many of us gave in 2023. Yes, Peter Obi can win, but they will not give it to him. Yes, Peter Obi can win, but they will not swear him in. Yes, Peter Obi will win, but they will rig him out. Peter Obi will win if the election is free and fair, but the elections cannot be free and fair because Tinubu is planning to write election. These are the answers that many Nigerians are giving. And I'm not talking about supporters of Peter Obi now. I'm talking about patriotic Nigerians out there. Because of the level of propaganda that has been pushed to paint Tinubu as a rigger of election. In fact, a master rigger. Tinubu is only as strong as INEC is allowed to be manipulated. If INEC cannot be manipulated, Tinubu is as weak as any Nigerian candidate. Weak. So how can we make sure that Peter Obi will not be rigged out again in 2027? I don't want to sit here and be doing videos to be complaining in 2027. No. I want to do videos to be celebrating that Peter Obi is going to be sworn in after the elections of February in May 29, 2027. That's what I want to be doing, celebratory videos. And that is why I am looking ahead and I am seeing the danger signs and I'm calling your attention to it. Don't play Tinubu's game of distraction, engaging in fruitless talks that will distract from taking the fruitful action that will guarantee Peter Obi as the next president of Nigeria. Don't play Tinubu's game. They are all distractions. Without free and fair election, Peter Obi will be rigged out. So the task, the job, the work that you and I have as patriotic Nigerians is, how do we ensure, how do we guarantee that the election of 2027 is free and fair? Many people have their eyes fixed on electoral reforms, and I commend that. But the electoral reform is just plan A, even if we get it. And I'm not saying we cannot get it. Even if they give us electoral reforms by some miracle, I still cannot trust INEC. Maybe you can. I am not as strong as you. I still don't trust INEC not to come up with some kind of glitch that will still rig the election in favor of their preferred candidates. So, what can we do? They say they will rig the election of 2027. Yes. Oh, in fact, they say they have written results. Yes. But we go give them fire. We go popo them. So if they are pushing the narrative that they have rigged the election of 2027, what are Nigerians supposed to do? Give up and let them stroll into Aso Rock to continue their term in 2027, to let them stroll? No. We have options that we can try. And we will try them. No matter how difficult or how insurmountable the problems may be, no matter how difficult the options may be, we will try them. And we must try them. If not, Peter Obi will be rigged out again and will be out crying, complaining, oh, Peter Obi is not able to defend his vote. How is he supposed to defend the votes? When the levers of power are already in the wrong hands, in the hands of people that are ready to shoot, to kill. I don't want to complain in 2027. I want to win. When Peter Obi wins, Nigeria wins. Imagine the only politician in Nigeria, I don't even call him a politician, I call him a leader that has had the benefit of being in office and did not steal government money. Even other governors were mocking him that they chop money, they steal money, they loot, they use white elephant project to siphon public funds into private pockets. So they were bragging about it and mocking Peter Obi for it. If there is no reason at all for you as a Nigerian to support Peter Obi, this reason, is one of the reasons that people like me are pulling our weight behind Peter Obi. No other is it a Tinubu? Is it an Atiku? Which one? Which one? Then you have somebody in the person of Peter Obi who decided to leave money behind. Who decided to invest, to create wealth, instead of just coming up with some scheme like the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Railway to siphon public funds into private pockets while using government money or government name to collect the loan to do the job. If A new Nigeria is what we seek. We need people like Peter Obi, if not for anything. Even if Peter Obi will not make things better, for the sake of sending a message to corrupt politicians out there that the people have woken up, if not for any reason, for that reason. We need somebody like Peter Obi. And the only way he gets to be sworn in is for us to prevent rigging. We must prevent rigging. How do we prevent rigging? I've told you it's beyond electoral reforms. We have to take certain steps and actions as citizens of Nigeria. Political party reforms, citizens' election monitoring, the weaponization of poverty to prevent vote selling and vote buying, and prevent voter apathy, the weaponization of impunity, and the weaponization of political parties. We need to engage in these solutions. Details are in the description. But the most critical one that I am begging you, if you are still watching this video, I am begging you, is to volunteer as a polling unit marshal. The link is in the description. We need 600,000 polling unit marshal. 600,000 polling unit marshal. 3 polling unit marshals per polling unit. And each of the polling unit marshal does not know the next 2 polling unit marshal in a particular polling unit. And why is this that we need polling unit marshals? We have a real-time election results transmission, collation, and display application. We call it Vote Vision. We have another version called Election Guard. And this application requires volunteers at the polling units to enter the results in triplicates. In triplicates. That's why we need 3 polling unit marshal volunteers per polling unit. And once they enter it from the polling unit, bam, the result is propagated to the ward level collation center, to the state local government level collation center, to the state level collation center, to the national level collation center, and Nigerians will be seeing it in real time. So where INEC deviates, we will see it and point it out immediately. And with the next solution, which is evidence gathering, calm guard, we will have the evidence to back it up, such that the judiciary will have no choice but to defend truth. Such that we won't need to depend on INEC for evidence to defeat INEC in court. Such that we will be the ones singing and dancing in victory, and the riggers or planned riggers will be the ones going to court. We can make it happen. But it starts with you being a volunteer. It's free to volunteer. Absolutely free. Volunteer. The link is in the description. Please, volunteer. If you want free and fair elections in Nigeria, come 2027. We need Peter Obi, and if you love Peter Obi, now is the time for you to work for him. By the time it is 2027, it is already too late. Now is the time, the perfect time to prevent rigging. We have to put structures in place to do what? To prevent rigging. Very, very important. Don't allow yourself to be distracted with the distraction propaganda that is on. Speak truth to power. Expose their lies. But know that that is not enough. More needs to be done. And it's Project Ego. And coincidentally, electoral reform is one of the 7 action steps of Project Ego. But what we're saying is, it is not enough. You need the other 6. And you can be a part of it. What are you going to do? Click the link in the description and join. Start by volunteering. Let's take it up from there. Let's show these people that Nigerians have woken up, that Nigerians can indeed send them packing.